Okay, guys and girls, I'm gonna answer your questions. Now, I'm not going to pronounce your names correctly, but I'm gonna try. Dorinul asked me where I am from. I am from the Kurdish part of Iraq. That's located in the north part. I'm gonna show you the map. That's the yellow part of the map is where I'm from. And now you may wonder, we do not have our own country, not officially, but part of us are located in Iraq, part of us some other in Iran, Syria and Turkey. And this one map shows the whole Kurdistan region. We do not have our own country officially yet, but we do have our own language and culture, so hopefully in the future we might officially make our own country. That's what we dream for. And this is the picture of my city, Suleimaniye, where I was born and lived until age of 14. And this one is my grandparents' house, which I lived. Sir McFarlane asked me to tell my abridged origin story because he heard I'm an immigrant. Yes, I am an immigrant, that's true. It started, my little brother had a disease. We did hear that he could be cured in Europe. So he was 9 years old when he alone went to Europe, and then because the doctors needed the family to be there, so we managed to also move to Sweden. For a 9-year-old without his parents, he was really strong. The disease was that his body couldn't produce any blood. He'd have to take blood every 25 days. This disease is called thalassemia or something. I don't know exactly what it's called in English, but in Swedish it's thalassemia. And that disease is mostly when the parents are cousins. When the parents are cousins, which my parents are, that's the result mostly. Now back then when my parents married, people were not that educated, especially not in Iraq, so they didn't know what was the consequences. But in 2004 he got operation or whatever. He almost died actually, but in the end he made it through, and I'm always grateful for this country, because if we didn't move here, he'd be probably dead now, so I'm really grateful. Rick371 asked me what's my favorite FF weapon. It's definitely Skull's Lionheart. Definitely. When I first got it, I was then 15 years old, so, and you know how kids react when they get something nice and cool. I was like jumping around the room, wow. Then Squall did Lionheart. My mouth was just wide open for like 2 minutes. It was awesome. Scotty, my friend Scotty, who's known as Ashe9499, or whatever the numbers are, I forgot. He asked me what's my favorite racing game. It's definitely Crash Team Racing. I loved that game as a kid, and I still play it sometimes, and that's probably the only racing game I like, because I'm not so much into racing games. Next one, Blackwing Genesis asked me if I'm gonna do a Demon's Souls walkthrough. I would love to. I will give the game a chance, and if I liked it, I'm gonna definitely do one in the future. But with FF14 coming out soon, I don't see it happening anytime soon. But maybe someday. Daniel Games asked me what's my favorite console and video game, and what's your first one. My favorite console is still the PS2. The PS2 still have the best library of games even today. If you were gonna ask me either to keep my PS2 or PS3, I choose PS2 over PS3 any day. And what's my favorite video game? It's definitely Final Fantasy 12 and Final Fantasy 8. 8 and 12, I still debating which one I love the most. I love those two so much, I can't even decide which one I like more over the other. So the first video game I ever played was Mortal Kombat 2 on Sega Genesis, also known as Mega Drive. Back in 1997, my uncle, you could because it was so expensive, no one afforded to have his own system. You could go to shops and hire or loan a system, a Genesis, for one night. And I just happened to be there that night and played Mortal Kombat 2 as an 8-year-old. World Wrestling asked me when I did start gaming. It was not until 1999 when I got my own Sega Genesis. That's when I truly started. Yeah, my first system was Genesis. And my first game, like I mentioned earlier, was Mortal Kombat 2. And then I got Mortal Kombat 3 because I loved 2 so much, and I loved 3 even more because it was so much better. You could do combos and more fatalities and stuff. Back in the day, he also asked me how many games. He asked me how many games do you own. Okay. I mostly nowadays, when I finish a game, I just trade it for another game. I don't keep my games unless I truly love it. I will maybe make a video showing you what games I do still own. That will be for the best. He also asked me where will you play FF14 on PS3 with me? Yeah, sure. Anyone can play with me. As long as you're in the same server as me. I'm gonna be on Cerberus server. If you wanna join me, you feel free to pick that server and send me your full character's name and I will add you myself. So yeah. Jack asked me television or movie shows that I enjoy. The ones I always enjoy are the comedies in my own language from my own homeland. That's what I mostly watch. I do not watch English stuff so much. Next one. Pad1291 asked me what's the huge thing with FF12. That's a hard one, but the most thing is Ashe, of course. That girl is just unbelievable. And of course the battle system is the best. I never cared for the story too much. I did like the story, but I didn't care for it too much because I did my first playthrough on the Japanese version when it came out. I didn't understand any story and I still finished the game. So I didn't care about the story because I loved the gameplay. So yeah. The gameplay is so addicting. Even today, as you can see, I can't stop playing it. 7 years later, I can't stop playing it. So Sweet May Cutie for Life asked me if I'm gonna do a walkthrough for FFX and X2 HD when they came out. But of course I will. I even made a trailer video about what I will do in the walkthrough. You can watch it here. Just click in the annotation. Here, whatever. Ultimate Zio asked me what's your favorite thing about Final Fantasy. Characters, the world, music, especially music, and the summons. I don't know, everything is amazing about it, everything. So that's all how I can answer. Next one. Chris Stewart asked me what's my favorite Final Fantasy. I think I already answered that. It's FF8 and 12. Don't force me to pick one because I can't. The Johnny Mayer asked me. He asked me a few questions. He's really a great Let's Player. You should check his channel out. He's one of my favorite Let's Players. His first question was, what got me into making videos in the first place? Even before YouTube, I still recorded my own gameplay for myself. I always had the passion to make gameplay videos. So, and when YouTube came about, that's in 2006. That's when I first got to know YouTube. That was the most amazing thing for me, because I could now share it with people what I record, and it also worked out really well. My channel got really popular, but then for my own stupidity I uploaded some copyrighted stuff and it got banned. But this channel is going well, so I hope it keeps growing. His question was, what's my goals for my channel in the next year? I don't really have a specific goal, but maybe at least get back what amount of subscribers and stuff I had. I had like 12,000 or something, so it will be nice if I get that back in the next year. So I'm still gonna make videos, even because like I said before YouTube, I even made videos for myself. So his third question was, what's my single favorite game of all time? Oh no, he wants me to pick just one. I'm gonna pick FF8. Yeah, and it's really hard. I love FF12 as much, but I don't know, I maybe still pick 8. His fourth question was, who would win a fight between Ashe from FF12 and Terra from FF6? That's a hard one. Terra is not to be taken lightly, but Ashe always have stuff up her sleeve. I think it will be a draw. Yeah, it will be a draw. Okay, Reaper Okami asked me, what's my favorite Final Fantasy era? On NES, SNES, PS1, PS2 or PS3? I would have to take PS2. Yeah. This one is also hard. Can I please pick PS1 and PS2? Thank you. Nomia Winston asked me, what's the first FF game you ever played? That was FF8. Back in 2001, my uncle was an engineer, so he went to other city in Iraq. And one day he came home from work with a game. It was like 4 discs, one game, 4 discs. We were so shocked and amazed. How can a game be 4 discs? And judging from the amount of discs, we thought it was awesome, and truly it was. I fell in love with it the first battle I got into, so and it was also my first RPG game. And even today I still play it. 12 years later I still play it. My friend Scene944, he's actually the one that made my channel art. It's really good. He asked me a few questions. Number 1, what was your hardest platinum trophy and how long did it take to achieve? It was probably Mortal Kombat 2011. That was the hardest. It took around 400 hours. But I wasn't active in playing the game all those hours because there was a trophy required that you play 24 hours with every character. So you could just put the game on infinite timer and leave it overnight, and the character would gain the amount of hours played. But still there was many difficult online trophies that it was really hard to achieve. I don't think I can do it again, but yeah, I'm still proud of that one. It's also the rarest platinum trophy on my list. Second question, what was the first video game you ever played? Kinda already answered that. Was Mortal Kombat 2 on Genesis. It was on Genesis. Favorite food? I'm just gonna show you a few pictures. If you were curious about what they contain, you can ask me. Number 4. What made you decide to be a PlayStation gamer? Well, back in the day when PlayStation 1 first came, it was the best system for us. There was literally nothing better, so everyone got their PS1 and everyone loved it. So that's how I got into PlayStation. Ebonorn asked me if I'm gonna play FF14 on PS3 or PC. Definitely PS3 because I'm a console gamer. I'm not a PC gamer unless the game is only available on PC. Like The Last Remnant, I love that game. So it's definitely PS3, but even if you're playing PC, you can still play with me because the game is cross-platform. So just make sure you pick the same server as me, which is Cerberus AU, and I can add you. This goes for anyone who's gonna play the game. Kayla Fox, she's a good friend of mine that I used to play with Resident Evil with a lot, Resident Evil 6 and Revelations. She asked me what's my favorite Resident Evil game. It's definitely 3, mine is definitely 3 too. Nemesis is just too epic, too awesome. Red PlayStation Gamer Filmer, asked me what's my video game protagonist character, female, besides Ashe. By the way, it's Ashe, not Ash. That's how it's pronounced. It would have to be Claire Redfield from Resident Evil 2. Yeah. I think I do not need to go in details why. It's same as the same things for Ashe. She's, yeah, I don't need to go there. Epics ask me what movies I like. I love all the zombie films, especially the 80s classics. But among them I love Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Zombie. There are a lot I could mention. Rain Okambo asked me what's my favorite male Resident Evil character. It's definitely Barry Burton. Barry is so awesome. And here's a clip of his badassness.
Barry?
What is it?
Watch out! It's a monster!
Let me take care of this. What is it? I have.
Yeah, as you can see, he's the best male character ever. Joaquim Gabolerio Leiro. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. He asked me how old I am. I am 24. My birth date is June 15th. Nasty LP asked me what are my thoughts about the Xbox One. Oh my god, do we have to go there? Now, don't get me wrong, I do love the Xbox 360, but Microsoft totally lost it, totally fucked up on this one. My most problem is that they force us to have that Kinect thing. I want real games, not some dancing games in front of a camera. So I hate that they force us to pay for that as well. I just want the console, no camera, no bullshit. So yeah, I'm not going to get the Xbox One ever unless there will be like Lost Odyssey 2 or maybe The Last Remnant 2, which I doubt will ever happen. I will never get that system. But I think I will still keep my 360 because I love Lost Odyssey and The Last Remnant. Those two games are the reasons I love the system, so without those games I don't even like the 360 either. So I think this was all the questions. If I missed anything, let me know. I always appreciate all your support, guys and girls. Love you all, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.